like to first thank everyone for coming. And then I'd like to introduce our Washington Area Manager, Kurt Adcock, to start the show off. Thanks.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks for everybody for coming today. We're really excited to get this going and being part of this community. It's fairly nice to see everybody show up today. If I started to thank everybody here today and everybody was involved in this project, I mean, it'd probably take me all day. I mean, there's probably good 50, 60 people here and probably another 100 people that were involved with this project, and we couldn't do it without them. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our congressional delegation, Congressman Denny Heck and Derek Kilmer. I know they're there, and they were here from the first go and looked through this project and made sure it got through. And they'll be speaking here in a few minutes. And also like to acknowledge Congressman Womack from Arkansas. Thank you for showing up and being here. The state legislators, I'd like to thank Tim Shelton, Representative McEwen and Griffey. I think they're here as well. I think Tim was one of the first guys I got to know when I moved here, and he was in the front door as soon as we had an office, and he was saying, you know, what are we going to do to get this thing going? You know, and as a fellow Mason County representative and also a forest landowner, Tim was just a perfect example of getting this project off the ground. You know, and he not only helped us through the whole project, but he intervened with the governor's office, and he got somebody to sign to make sure that we got through the permitting process, and it went, I mean, I couldn't have did it without him, and I just really like to thank Tim. I'm also like to thank the city government. I mean, I know they've been through 2 city commissions, a new city council, several city administrators, and a lot of leadership changes. But again, I mean, working with the city, we couldn't ask for better partners for this whole thing. I'd like to special recognition to Jason Dose, to Mike Barth, Craig Gregory, and Mark Ziegler. We didn't always get along very well together, but we always came through it, you know, and I have the utmost respect for these guys. And this was a big project to take on for these guys, and they stood by us, and we got through this project, and just thank you very much. Also, I'd like to recognize Chief Moody, the Shelton PD, Chief McKern, and Chief Patty. I mean, Mike Patty was the same way. I mean, we upgraded the fire system here, and Mike was out here numerous times, not just telling us what we needed to do, but I mean, helping us through the project. Thank you, Mike. Also like to recognize the school system. I know we're partnered with the school system in this proud and graduation matters, and we've been working with the high school very often here. I mean, and it's been going well, and we're just glad that we can help out and we can hire the best and brightest. I mean, we have a lot of careers out here, you know, for the future people, and I mean, without the high school kids, we couldn't do without them. Also like all the vendors here, I mean, especially there's a lot of vendors here, and at a point in time we probably had 230 to 240 construction workers out here. I mean, I just can't tell you, when you got 230 guys and we're going 14 different directions, what it took to get this mill up and running. I mean, we literally started in March of the first year, and by the end of the year we were up and running, and it's like we couldn't have did it with the help of everybody here. You know, several of our log suppliers are here. The same thing, you know, we got this thing going, and we turned it on, we turned it off, we turned it on, we turned it off, and it's like, you know, Matt knows, and thank you guys very much for working through this thing, and now we got a partnership and we can work well through this. And mostly I would like to thank our crew. I mean, we worked long hours, I mean, to get this thing through, long hours, long days. I mean, we couldn't have did it without them. And, you know, we finally built a great team out here. We got close to 270 employees out here. We got good family paying jobs. You know, we're part of this community, and we're giving back to the community. And myself, I mean, I live here now, and I just can't say enough about Shelton. I want to thank you very much for welcoming Sierra Pacific into this community. with that, I think Congressman Heck has a few words to say. So thank you very much.
That's the first time anybody has ever confused Kilmer with me, let me tell you. It's all right. He's 22 years younger. I'm flattered beyond measure. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. In fact, words can't exaggerate how thrilled I am to be here for this day, which has been long in coming. I don't think this is a big day just for Sierra Pacific. I don't think this is a big day just for Shelton or for Mason County. I think this is a big day for Washington State and beyond, frankly. Because if you step back and compare it, as Derek and I have an opportunity to do with a lot of other similar operations, that is a marvel. That is a true engineering marvel that we have now in our midst. It literally sets the standard for efficiency and for conservation. Nothing's wasted. Absolutely nothing's wasted. And that's a beautiful thing when you stop and think about it. Thanks to the technology and the ingenuity behind the technology and the people who work there every single day. And it's dynamic. Now, this is the part that I really like. It can adapt to changes in the marketplace. And what that means is it's going to be here for a while. This is not a one and done. This is not a one-off. This is not a mill closing 2 or 3 years from now. This is going to be around because of how it was built, and we should all appreciate it. You know what else we should appreciate is what this mill does way beyond its walls, because if you stop and think about it, just on the other side of there is Oakland Bay, home to shellfish and salmon, and if you go up a ways, on occasion you can spot an occasional orca whale. And thanks to the improvements that Sierra Pacific installed, there's a lot less stormwater runoff into Oakland Bay and into the rest of the Sound. And as well, Sierra Pacific has been a partner in helping to clean up the toxic sediment in the bay. And even more important than all of that is the impact this mill is going to have on this community and on the nearly 300, yes, good paying jobs here. That's the most important impact it's going to have on the job education to build skills that will be important throughout people's careers. Our timber industry isn't just a keystone of our history. It's very much part of our present. And as demonstrated here today, it's very much a part of our future. It's evidence of the promise and the potential and the sustainability of this sector of our economy. Now, look, we know we have a lot of work to do. Everybody knows that. Heck, half the fun is the work you have to do, right? It's the journey, as Mom and Dad used to tell us. For example, we do need to do more work with young people to get them ready. And thank God for Shelton School District and Graduation Matters and Shelton Proud and the partnership that has been formulated between Sierra Pacific and the school district. Bless them. It's a testament to great things that can happen when the community works together, pulls together, forms partnership. It's so significant that Congressman Steve Womack got in an airplane in Arkansas and flew all the way here. Steve, thanks for being here. Give a hand to Steve Womack from Arkansas. I'm going to finish where I started. I couldn't be more thrilled to be here today or happier for this community and the people who live here. So congratulations, Red, George, the rest of the Emerson family. Congratulations to the Sierra Pacific family for all that you have done and for all that you will do. And now, it is my pleasure to turn the mic over with great trepidation, because he'll be speaking last, to the dirtiest roommate in Washington, D.C.'s history. Oh, you think that's funny? You ought to try that sometime. He's talking after me, so I know I'm going to come in for it. It's true. He's an incredibly sloppy guy. You know what else he is? He's the smartest, hardest, most ethical member of the United States House of Representatives. And the people of the 6th Congressional District, and yes, I did stamp his passport to come in here to the 10th District, are unbelievably blessed to have it as their member of Congress, but nowhere near as I am unbelievably blessed to call him my dear friend. Please welcome Congressman Derek Kilmer to the podium. Believe nothing he says about me.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Denny, for stamping my passport here. I was thinking on the drive here about those words I've heard in my life that changed the trajectory of life. Yes, I will marry you. It's a girl. You know, those life-changing statements. And we got to hear one of those life-changing statements from the people at SPI not too long ago. We're going to build a new mill in Shelton. Those words are a really big deal. This mill is a really big deal. The marriage between Sierra Pacific and the people of Mason County is a big deal. The birth of this new mill and new jobs and new economic opportunity are a really big deal. Not just symbolically. There's a lot of symbolism in the forest products industry. I was thinking about this on the drive here too. You know, as you plant a tree and the tree grows, jobs grow. Getting to talk to 2 generations of Emerson brothers made me think about some symbolism in the Kilmer family when it came to the forest products industry. In the Kilmer family, when a child was born, a tree was planted, and it was supposed to be this beautiful symbolism. As the tree grows, the kid grows. There was a Jason tree for my big brother and a Ryan tree for my middle brother, and I was 9 years old when I said to my parents, where's the Derek tree? And they said, we didn't plant one for you. So I guilted them into planting an apple tree, which died 2 years later. So I mention that largely because you may want to think about standing too close to me on the mill tour. But listen, today's not just about symbolism. Today is about jobs, and it's about paychecks, and it's about a tradition of the forest products industry in this region that spans more than a century. It's an acknowledgement that the timber industry has been and will continue to be an important leg of our economic stool here in this region. It's about a commitment from Sierra Pacific to build a world-class mill and to employ world-class people in it. It's about the resiliency and grit of this community. Here, we care about job creation because none of us want our region's top export to be young people. We want to see that economic opportunity happen here. We celebrate jobs here, and having grown up in Port Angeles, I can understand why there was some concern about whether this would happen. There was skepticism. So I want to end by just saying thank you, by expressing gratitude to every local leader at the local level, state level, all the way through, for working to cut through red tape and to lay out the red carpet to make this happen. I want to thank Denny Heck, my colleague, who is working so hard for the people of Shelton and the people throughout the 10th Congressional District. He is the hardest working guy in our nation's capital. I also want to thank Steve Womack, my colleague who came as part of a bipartisan exchange. I'm going to go to Arkansas, and he came here, and just as an effort to see some of the cool stuff happen in our region and to show that Democrats and Republicans can work together on some stuff, which I think is important too. Listen, each of us is committed to ensuring that there's jobs in this industry going forward. And in fact, Denny didn't mention it, but just this last Thursday, we passed a spending bill that includes a direction to the Department of Defense, our nation's largest builder, to use more wood construction when they build military installations. That's jobs for this area. But finally, and most importantly, I want to say thank you to the Emersons, to every member of the Emerson family here, Red and Mark and George and the next generation, and to Lisa Perry and Andrea and Kurt and the entire SPI team for making this happen. The birth of this new mill is a big deal. The marriage to this community is a big deal. And what I want to end with is letting you know we are all in to making sure this is a success. Thanks, everybody.
And now I'd like to introduce our new mayor, Bob Rogers. Could you come forward? Thanks.
I didn't realize Lisa was going to set me up and have our Representative Kilmer and Heck start, so I will do my best. I'm going to focus on the personal, because 30 years ago I started apparently in Lisa's old office at the sawmill office, and I was on the waterfront doing the log inventory for 2 or 3 years, a different water inventory or log inventory than our waterfront that we have now. So I just want to appreciate the investment that Sierra Pacific, the Emerson family has made in the complex here, the investment in our town, I deeply appreciate. It's going to be a change agent for this town, for the waterfront, and I deeply appreciate that, both from a personal and from a city representative standpoint. Thank you very much. Just like to add that, some of the benefits that Representative Kilmer was talking about go far beyond this mill. The one that I like to focus on. One is the impact of this mill on the local log markets and how it will help local landowners maybe keep their lands in forestry, long-term forest management, because most people who live in this region live here for that standpoint, and it'll be a market-driven solution to that. I'm also excited, it's been mentioned about how we're integrating with the schools, and I really appreciate going through the mill. I had not been in the fabrication area for quite a while, and it's amazing, both in the mill, fabrication area, the truck shop, the skills and professions that everyone has in the waterfront, and how that continues a history of pride in working in the mill, working in the woods in this community, and how that relates to using natural resource or renewable resources, Representative Kilmer mentioned, to produce a product for housing, to shelter humans. And that's a critical key element of our society moving forward. Last of all, I look forward, whether I'm on the city council or continue to be a resident of Shelton, look forward to seeing this mill and being a part of Shelton and our region for many years to come. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to introduce George Emerson to come up and say a few things.
Since everybody came here to have lunch today, we're going to make this really short so we can get to eating. First of all, I'd just like to welcome all of you here today on behalf of Red, my father, who's standing there. If you'd raise your hand, Dad. My brother Mark is here, but he got distracted. He's on another, dealing with a different matter in the office right now. And then I also have 2 children. 2 of my sons are here. And Colin and Vaughn, they're standing over there. If you just raise their hand. Thanks, guys. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for coming today on behalf of all of us. Being in the Shelton community is a big deal to us. I think that, we're really proud of the things that we've been able to bring to the community. Coming here, getting involved, bringing the employment and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the first thing we're proud of is making lumber here, but we're proud to be part of this community and very committed to it. We appreciate the support that we've gotten from all the legislators, the community, the regulators, and just the community in general for the support of what we've done here and the assistance that we've had in building the sawmill. It's interesting, but prior to 2000, Sierra Pacific Industries had no footprint in Washington. Today we have 4 sawmills, and we're the largest lumber manufacturer in the state of Washington today. And there's a reason for that. Washington in general and Shelton in particular are very business-friendly environment, and that's what attracted us to move part of our business up here from California. Today, what you saw are the folks that went on tour. You saw a world-class facility, one of the top quartile of world-class facility, providing nearly 300 living wage jobs in this community. We're committed to not only the state of Washington, but the Shelton community. And most of all, the one thing I'm proud of is the folks that we have here in Shelton working for us in Washington. We have some of the best, in my opinion, some of the most dedicated, best, highly committed folks that we could have as part of our team, and I'm personally proud to be part of that team as well. The last thing I would tell you is that I like to always remind everybody, we're always looking for folks. We have jobs available. If you know anybody or have any friends, refer them. We take applications, have them come put an application in. And we're always looking for people to hire and so forth. And so I just had to get a little bit of a promotion dealing with, good wages and benefits and all those things. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming today. Lisa, is there anything I've left out or? No? Okay. Thank you all, and particularly the congressmen that are here today. They traveled all the way from Washington to come here and be part of this. So anyway, thank you very much.
So again, we really appreciate everybody coming out for this and how much we've been embraced by this community.